So we're on to episode 7 of Ryan's Ramblings, and I'm still not healthy, and we missed yesterday. Wednesdays and Saturdays. It's going to turn into like a Thursday and Sunday thing, simply because we're just really bad. We're going to say it's Wednesdays and Saturdays, but it's going to be Thursdays and Sundays.
Twice a week. How about twice a week?
Twice a week. No promises.
Yeah.
No day promises anymore, because obviously we can't fulfill them.
Yeah.
So the name of the game, I have a bag full of different subjects that Ryan has rambled on about to me or other people at some point, because some people have messaged me to give me ideas. Keep doing that. If you know Ryan or you have ideas for him to ramble on about, keep doing that. And so he draws one, he gets 5 minutes to talk about it, all of the things that pop up in his brain. We're going to try really hard to not start the beginning anymore. In the beginning of time.
Are we?
Yeah, God. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna try hard not to let him do that.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Well, maybe I can derail it for 5 minutes.
Yeah. The funny thing is, despite those all being things I've rambled about, I have no idea what's in that bag still.
No, you don't.
That's why this is my favorite part. I have to find something out that's in that bag.
And if you've had a subject in the past, I get rid of it.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because I have so much more to say about all of the other subjects we've dropped.
Well, that's why we have to do a podcast. But we have to like order another microphone and find time and
Yeah, all right.
we'll do it. Okay, anyway. So now's the moment of truth. Pick one.
Gonna give it a good shuffle this time.
I shuffled it too.
Oh, okay. Well, not double shuffled.
Alright, triple shuffled.
What do we get?
Knives.
Knives. Okay.
Alright.
Have I rambled about knives before?
Oh, dude.
Okay.
You literally did a short about knife sharpening.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Oh, dude.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna set my timer.
All right.
Where is it? Not a calculator, that would be silly.
Yeah.
5 minutes. You get 5 minutes. Do not start at the beginning of time.
Okay.
Don't do it. Go.
All right. So what is?
No. No.
We all know what a knife is.
Yeah, we do know what knives are.
We'll just not. We're gonna not start at the beginning this time.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Go. You have 5
All right,
minutes.
Here we go. Well, I'm on the clock already. So I like knives, and I think that knives are a great tool, and you should pretty much always have one. I've got one here with me right now, and so should you. If you don't, you should fix that.
I don't have one. I lose them.
You should fix that.
Oh, well, but I lose them.
You don't lose your phone.
Sometimes I do, but I can locate it.
Okay, yeah, that's true. We'll put an air tag on your knife.
Okay.
Anyways, you should have a knife. So a knife is a really important tool, and keeping a knife sharp is also really important. And this is kind of where a lot of people go wrong. So as Nicole mentioned, I recently did a short about knife sharpening, and I am often sharpening knives. And one of the things that I've sort of realized over the years, I learned to sharpen knives at a young age, and I've just always been doing it.
Well, there's like a million knife sharpeners out there that's supposed to make sharpening knives easier, and it's not easier. Most of them don't even work. They're just like some giant gimmick.
Yeah, so I like a flat bench stone. That is the easiest, I think.
It's not the
to sharpen.
easiest. It's just when you learn how to use it.
Right. Okay, yeah, you're right. So there are things that are kind of, will give you a guide and can kind of help keep the angle consistent.
You have a knife on your desk, too.
I do have a knife on my desk also. You're right.
Sorry,
thank you for that. I don't think there's any more within arm's reach than those two, but that's not bad for being in front of a computer. In any case, the way I like to sharpen knives is with just a flat bench stone. The reason I like a flat bench stone is because it's the most adaptable to different things. You can sharpen not only a knife, you can sharpen a chisel, you can sharpen a...
We have very sharp chisels to prove that.
We do have very sharp chisels. And actually, now that you mentioned it, I'm surprised this card didn't say chisels, because I know I ranted at his mom about it. Anyways.
My mom was very patient with you about that.
She was, yeah. You should have a chisel that's like, you can just push the wood off. And one thing that's important about sharp knives, and a lot of people feel like maybe having a knife too sharp is dangerous, and I think it's usually kind of the opposite. Like if your knife is really sharp, you're not going to be exerting a ton of force on it. So you let the knife do the work. Or whatever you're cutting, it just kind of smoothly cuts. You don't have to push and exert a ton of force, and that's when your knife slips. And when you have a dull knife that you're working really hard to try to cut something, and you're putting a lot of force on that knife, and it slips, that's when things get a little bit more dangerous. So
let's talk a little bit about like different, not types of knives, but like the different metal alloys about knives. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of there's a long rabbit hole you could get into.
I know.
Different metal
Yeah,
alloys.
try to do like as quick as you can for like the general
Sure.
public who might be like, so what kind of knife do you recommend?
Yep. So broadly speaking, knives kind of come in the generic steel category, which is going to be something like stainless steel, like 440 stainless or 420C stainless. Those are kind of like your quote-unquote cheap knives usually. They're not necessarily bad, but those types of knives will lose their edge pretty quickly, which means you're going to be sharpening more often. No matter how good of a steel you have, you need to sharpen your knife. So it's just about how often. There are what's called super steels, which are also stainless, and those are generally going to have a little bit more toughness and edge retention. And then there are like high carbon steels that are not stainless, which will also generally have a little bit more toughness and edge retention. You have to take some care to make sure that they don't rust because they're not stainless. So there's a lot of different subcategories within all those various steels.
I think the hard thing too though is like the harder the metal, the harder it is to sharpen. Like it doesn't get dull as fast, but it also takes for freaking ever to sharpen them.
That's exactly right. This one here is CPM 3V, and it is a real pain to sharpen this knife. It stays sharp forever. It's an awesome knife steel for...
Well, like when we process cattle and stuff like that, you have to sharpen that thing.
Yeah, there are some jobs that no
Because
knife is
they're- yeah,
tough enough
it's
to get
just-
through the whole job. So
Right.
like you're going to have to sharpen it. There's the time.
All right, I'll give you like a minute more just to wrap up
Okay.
because that came on fast.
Sure. So a minute more to wrap up is, I think a thing about knives, you don't really have to overthink it very much, but you should take care of your knife. You should keep your knife pretty sharp. You should be able to sharpen your own knife. So there's a lot of things that are like, send your knife back and we'll sharpen it, and that's great too. And if you for some reason you can't sharpen a knife, or you haven't learned yet, that can be a good stopgap. But you should learn how to sharpen a knife.
What would be a good valuable resource for people to learn how to do it besides just trial and error?
YouTube. YouTube is great. There's a million knife sharpening videos on YouTube. There's not one right way to sharpen a knife. There's a lot of different ways that work. Even if you just take, like I said, a flat bench stone is what I used. Excuse me. Even if you just take a flat bench stone, within that there's a number of different techniques that will work. So learn one of them, learn how to sharpen your knife, get results you're happy with, and make sure you have a sharp knife on you.
Perfect wrap up timing.
All right.
Nice. You got your. And you didn't even look at my phone to see.
I'm getting the hang of this.
Are you?
No.
Okay.
I still want to talk forever.
I know.
I have a lot more to say about knives.
I know. We'll get you an outlet.
I already know you're not going to put it back in the bag, though.
I'm not. We're gonna throw it away.
Here you go.
Thanks. Okay, so that was it. Like, follow, share. Yeah, that's our pitch.
Do the social things,
Do the social things.
whatever those social things may be.
Right. We'll do another one here in a couple of days. I have a little bit of a twist I think I'm gonna throw in here pretty quick.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. So we're gonna add a little challenge to the game.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So stay tuned. I'm hoping it'll be the next episode that we do that in, but it may be the episode after that.
When are we doing Nicole's ramblings?
I don't have ramblings.
Oh,
Do I ramble?
no, not really.
Yeah, not really. Okay. Well, that was a wrap. So stay tuned for the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Also, look, we figured out how to turn this off.
I really did kind of like the double thumbs up like frickin' fireworks. I didn't actually like it.
Why is it on by default?
I don't know. It's
So weird.
So funny that it happens on calls.
I know.
Like in the middle of a meeting. But I mean, really, who throws the friggin' peace sign in a meeting?
Have you seen that video that's a lawyer that like turned himself into a cat on a Zoom call on accident? And it was like some old dude. He had no idea how to turn it off. And it was like it was an important call apparently. So he was trying to be as serious about it as possible.
Right. Oh, I have not seen that.
We'll pull it up. It's pretty good.